I was discriminated against my entire life because of my golden child sister. She now tried walking down the aisle at my wedding, and I finally got revenge. Part 4. Our wedding was planned to perfection and our revenge was waiting to be executed. My husband and family had come up with what they thought was a perfect plan. They wanted my sister to arrive at the perfect time to walk down the aisle, so they would avoid talking to me. My husband and I made sure to keep our security hidden at first. As the guests and my parents arrived, all they could see was a woman with a list of names to check. Only after my parents arrived and sat down did we bring out security. We told him to not allow anyone my sister in and even agreed to pay a handsome tip if he didn't reveal we told him that. A few minutes later my parents got a text message from my sister which said that my sister was 5 minutes away. My dad stood up and made some gestures with his head, and soon enough my bridesmaids were following him. After they all went down and took their places, my dad stood up at the entrance, as if waiting for me. A friend of mine in on the plan texted me and told me to get ready. As soon as my dad took his position, the bridal song started playing, the doors opened and I walked in. My dad looked shocked when he realized that it was me instead of her golden child. He tried looking at the venue entrance to spot my sister, but she was nowhere to be seen. At this point, he was supposed to walk me down the aisle, but he didn't. He got a phone call from someone and made it as an excuse to leave and mumbled something came up. There were gasps and confusion all around. The friend in on it loudly asked what happened. I lied and in a teary voice said he told me it wasn't supposed to be me there. The friend then loudly went, "What did he mean by it shouldn't be you?" So that as many people as possible could hear and spread it. My husband's dad quickly ran over and took my arm. I walked down the aisle to whispers as people discussed what happened. My husband and I deserved an Oscar because of how well we wept fake tears. My parents never came back and they missed my marriage. No one dared to tell me what was happening, but someone told me. He whispered in my ear that he had to go to the bathroom or else he would burst out laughing. Our plan had worked. I was told that my sister did arrive in a wedding dress. The security refused to let her in until my dad went there and tried threatening him with police, claiming he never heard of him. The security had no problem with the police coming because he was hired by us. At that point, my dad realized by then it'd be too late and tried to demand he let my sister in. My dad went after my husband and he pretended to be confused. He denied having ever agreed to something so ridiculous with my parents in front of everyone else. When they insisted he did, he demanded proof and of course, they couldn't find any. My sister was crying and apparently sat on the floor kicking her legs like a kid. My dad looked like he'd beat my husband, but security and other people held him back. The venue had cameras but they refused to show me the recording of my dad punching my husband, but some people took videos and even uploaded them online. Watching my parents and sister get ripped apart by any and everyone who came out to check the drama was delicious. After years and years of being accused of stuff and not believed, to watch them have a taste was one of the best wedding gifts. My mother was crying, my dad kept changing from purple to white, and my sister was still on the floor crying and screaming. They kept insisting that my husband was in on it, but people kept asking why would my husband agree, why was there no proof, and why they wanted my sister to do this to my wedding. They were told to leave and had no choice but to do so. My dad apparently had to drag my sister up as she refused to leave the ground. Their taxi arrived and before my dad got in, he said, "You guys are going to pay me back every penny." We were glad that he was gone and all of us went back to enjoying our marriage.